In this video, you will find out why, according to Elon Musk, it is so important to study our history. Archaeological discoveries shown in this video are capable of changing our history and understanding of the past. Be sure to watch this video to the end. Hi friend, you're on the Kurtop channel. 3,000-year-old priest's tomb. Archaeologists from Japan and Peru recently discovered a 3,000-year-old priest's tomb in Cajamarca, Peru. It is older than the pyramids in Egypt. The ancient mound was located deep in the Andes, far from noisy cities. Inside is a tomb containing two stunning ceramic seals. One shows a human face and the other shows a scary jaguar. And believe me, to get to this treasure, archaeologists had to go through 6 layers of earth and ash. This amazing priest was one of the first spiritual leaders in the Andes and, according to scholars, ran the temples. This team of scientists has been digging in the Andes for 18 years, and every time they discover something new and exciting. Archaeologists were horrified. On the Tel Shimron Hill in Israel, archaeologists have found a giant complex that can be compared in size to an Olympic pool. This 5-story building is a monument made of 9,000 mud bricks. People in antiquity created an amazing dome and passage to the city, which reminded the explorers of the Mesopotamian building style. This is a rarity, as mud brick is very fragile. Archaeologists have also discovered stone chests, ossuaries aged 1850 near Kafr Kana. These are ancient Jewish urns for storing the bones of the dead. Unfortunately, they were all empty. Ancient human footprints. Was the past always the way it appears to us today? Get ready to see something amazing. I'll show you pictures of footprints of people and cars that are millions of years old. Actualism is a method of geology that says what is happening now happened in the past. In short, our ancestors could leave the same traces as we do. In numerous expeditions of Alexander Koltepin in Spain, Italy, Malta, Bulgaria, and Turkey, fossilized traces of our ancestors and animals were found, along with the tracks of cars, bicycles, and even caterpillar vehicles. If you look at modern footprints in snow or clay, they are surprisingly similar to those that the expedition members found in sandstones, tuffs, and limestones from 1 to 20 million years old, just like in a time machine. And one more thing, in the photo on the left is the footprint of a modern woman's boot in the snow, and on the right is an almost identical footprint in a stone in Sicily, which is 2.5 million years old. It seems that our lady from the past was as fashionable as the girls of our time. So imagine that millions of years ago, a fashionista in cold boots passed along the road of Sicily or even raced in a car. And how many similar roads are all over the rest of Europe, Asia, North and South America? Moreover, not only people walked along them, but also mythical trolls, hobbits, goblins, just like in Middle-earth from the world of Tolkien. Moreover, some traces are 120 million years old, and the prints of people and cars are adjacent to the traces of dinosaurs. Deal of a doomed man and an official. Klaus Störtebeker is not just a pirate, but a real legend of the Baltic Seas, who, according to some opinions, even served as a prototype of the famous Robin Hood. This story begins with beer. Yeah, in ancient times in Germany, ordinary people were forbidden to drink beer. It was the privilege of aristocrats, and the one who violated the ban risked losing his head. And then one day, a simple guy named Klaus, who worked on the island of Rügen, decided to try this forbidden fruit. When he was caught, the local nobles decided to play a joke and force him to drink a giant jug of beer. But Klaus was not one of those who succumbed to provocations. He poured out the beer and, after a small fight, disappeared. Later he returned, but already as a pirate. Robbing the rich and helping the poor, Störtebeker became the hero of many. People even call him the bowl thrower in memory of that beer incident. However, not everyone liked it. In 1401, Hamburg sent an entire armada to capture Klaus and his crew. After a fierce battle, the pirate was captured and sentenced to death. But legend claims that before his execution, Störtebeker offered a deal. After he was executed, his decapitated body would try to pass his sailors, and anyone he overtakes must be set free. He passed 11 sailors before he fell, but unfortunately, they were still executed. Despite the sad ends, the legend of the Sturdenbaker is still alive. His story is so inspiring that ships, clubs, and even types of glass have been named after him. In the 19th century, a skull was found in Hamburg that may have belonged to Claus. It was kept in a museum for a long time until it was stolen in 2010. Mayan supernatural patron. In Mexico, near the city of Campeche, a team of researchers came face to face with the mysteries of the ancient Maya. Led by archaeologist Manuel Perez Rivers, they unearthed a ritual dish adorned with colorful drawings depicting the figure of the Wahi, the mystical protector of the Mayan elite. This is kind of like an ancient superhero who can turn into an animal. According to Mayan and Aztec legends, such protectors could become jaguars, cougars, or even wolves. On this amazing dish, our mystical hero is depicted as a jaguar or a man in the skin of a jaguar, and he seems to be standing on a bench. This artifact was found on the chest of a buried man. Maybe he was some kind of movie star or head of state of the time, because everything around him was screaming, "This guy is important." Armored dragon in Mongolia. In the city of Chifeng, where the mysterious landscapes of Mongolia merge with history, archaeologists have made an amazing discovery: a dragon made from mussel shells. This unusual dragon is part of the ancient culture of Hongshan, a people who turned jade into art thousands of years ago. They created figurines that look like pigs, dragons, and even embryo dragons. Our mussel dragon was found in the territory of Kaitaupo. These shells, connected together, tell about the mystical beliefs of the Hongshan people about their rituals and traditions. According to experts, such objects were often used in ritual ceremonies. Son Jinshan, a leading expert in this field, considers this find the key to understanding the worlds of the ancient dragons of the Hongshan culture. Elon Musk about the past. Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla and SpaceX, is a future-oriented person who is still very respectful of the past of mankind. He believes that understanding history and understanding ancient civilizations can provide the key to solving modern problems. Musk often refers to ancient cultures such as the Roman Empire or the pharaonic dynasties of Egypt to show how technological breakthroughs and socio-cultural changes can have both positive and negative effects. One example is his mention of the huge library of Alexandria that was destroyed. Musk argues that the loss of the knowledge of this library has delayed the development of mankind for centuries, and that is why it is so important for us to preserve and transfer knowledge. Following this logic, he calls for the conservation of Earth's resources, studying the lessons of past civilizations, and for the development of space expansion as insurance against possible catastrophes. For Musk, history is not just the lessons of the past, it is also a tool for planning the future aimed at the benefit of all mankind. Relative of the fossil Chatterman. 1903, a cave in England, workers accidentally find an ancient skeleton. They call it the Chatterman, and it's not just bones, it's the oldest fully preserved skeleton in England. Chatterman was a hunter-gatherer. Scientists decided to take a closer look at it and, with the help of modern technology, learn amazing things. It turned out that he had blue eyes, curly dark hair, and dark skin. Yes, the first British looked nothing like what we used to think. DNA can tell a lot about our ancestors. Scientists used the DNA of Chatterman and compared it with the DNA of modern inhabitants of a nearby village. And this is huge. One of the local history teachers turned out to be a direct descendant of this ancient hunter. Imagine, the history of his family dates back 10,000 years ago. But as in any scientific history, there are opponents. Some scholars doubt these conclusions, arguing that the ancestors of this teacher came to England much later. It should not be ruled out that people have always been drawn to the homeland of their ancestors, whether it is the homeland of your parents, grandparents, or who knows, the homeland of your great-grandfather who lived here more than 10,000 years ago. Archaeological sensation. At the foot of the Alps in Switzerland, archaeologists have discovered a fantastic find: the remains of 2,000-year-old Roman walls. These walls, which once protected the Roman complex, were discovered during the excavation in the city of Cham. Archaeologists have found pieces of a plaster wall, gold fragments, probably from jewelry, and everything from bowls to ceramic jugs called amphoras. Officials say it is an archaeological marvel for the region that can tell us about Roman activity in central Switzerland. By the way, the last time such Roman Roman buildings were found in Kham was almost 100 years ago, and amazingly, the top bricks were even visible above the ground. The area of these walls is huge, more than 500 square meters. But the mystery is, how did the Romans use this place? Villa with a good view? Or was it a temple? Items found at the site showed that elite people lived here. Luxurious dishes, detailed glass vessels, and amphoras, indicating trade with the Mediterranean. And the cherry on top is a coin minted by Julius Caesar. Ancient coin in the children's sandbox. In the city of Bremen in Germany, 8-year-old boy Bian, while playing in a sandbox, discovered an ancient Roman coin that is 1,800 years old. Immediately after the discovery, Bian, being over the moon, showed the coin to his parents, and it turned out that this is a real Roman denarius, minted during the reign of Emperor Marcus Aurelius Antonius. Interestingly, at the time when the coin was minted, in Rome they began to save on silver due to inflation. Although this area in Germany was never under Roman rule, ancient Germanic tribes lived here and traded with the Romans. That's how the coin could have ended up here. Unless Bjorn will not be able to keep the coin for himself, according to the laws of Germany, such finds belong to the state. But archaeologists are so grateful to the boy for his discovery that they will give him books on archaeology, and perhaps soon the denarius will take pride of place in the Bremen Museum. Pyramids of the Stone Age in Eurasia. In Kazakhstan, near the village of Tokhtamis, archaeologists have discovered a stone pyramid. The pyramid is hexagonal and dates from the early Bronze Age around 2000 BC. Animals, especially horses, are depicted on the walls. These drawings and the bones of horses nearby speak of a cult of horses. In addition, they found ceramics, gold earrings, and other jewelry. This suggests that the pyramid was a cultural center in ancient times. Sacrifice in Mexico. Within the ancient city of El Tigre in Mexico, scientists have discovered an unusual burial. And it's not just a grave. The remains inside indicate that it was a human sacrifice. On a special platform, the researchers found 2 huge vessels, and inside one of them are the remains of a young man, bent and adorned with an amazing jade ring. Apparently, this burial dates back to 600–800 years of our era. That is, it was the heyday of El Tigre. Yap Island stone money. Imagine money that you can't even move. No, this is not Bitcoin. These are stone discs with a hole in the middle scattered around Yap Islands in the Pacific Ocean. Yes, stone is their local currency. One such coin can be 3.5 meters in diameter. Hard currency, literally. According to legend, 500 years ago, the seafarer decided to create the perfect money. Finding limestone on a nearby island, the people of Yap made the first fish-shaped coins, and over time, they decided that the disc is cooler. And what is the most interesting? If someone decided to pay with this coin, it would not move, changed only its owner, so everyone knew who had what money. But the Europeans came and, as always, ruined everything. They gave the inhabitants tools and technologies, and they began to make money easier, faster, and therefore cheaper. As a result, stone money went out of fashion in the 20th century, but their story is a real lesson in economics on an island in the middle of the ocean. Ancient bloody tale. Anyone who first saw these drawings on the wall of the cave would think that the drawings appeared here quite recently, but it turned out that these are real archaeological treasures of the 17th–19th centuries. Scientists from Australia, Malaysia, and New Zealand have used radiocarbon dating, the same technique that determines of ancient objects. Professor Taken says dating the rock drawings is a difficult task. Although the methods allow dating up to 50,000 years old, dyes like the red color that is often found in the caves of Malaysia do not contain carbon, but black drawings, if they are made on the basis of coal, can be checked. Similar drawings have been found in the Philippines and Sulawesi, so our cave is not the only one with its secrets. But returning to her drawings, the professor claimed that they reflect the times when there were military clashes between the local tribes and the invading Malays. A descendant of one of the tribes tells an amazing story about how his ancestors hid in a cave from a cruel Malay leader who wanted to steal their children. Fighting, many of them were able to escape by making their way through the secret passage of the cave. On the walls of the cave, not only people are depicted, but also the weapons of that era with which they protected their families. It seems that history just comes to life in front of us. And even more stories from the ancient world you can find on my channel. Subscribe, watch new and old videos, and share them with your friends. Thanks for your views. Bye everyone!